It sounds like cliche, but definitely the call of the land, the cry of our people, the cry of the land for healing. Um, and I suppose COVID had a big part to play around sustainability of our people, um, the future of my tamariki, what does that look like, how stable is it, am I investing in the mātauranga, the knowledge of their future. I was very blessed to be raised in a small rural community by a village literally, where I was invested in with the skills and the knowledge to know how to live from the land, to know how to cultivate the land. So that was really a big part of me going home, me and my husband and our tamariki, our 9 children. It's a blessing to be home. Oh, it was mamai, he ori te whenua ki te tangata. So the cry of the land is the same sound as the people, and the wealth of the people is only as good as the land. Without being so philosophical, it's actually quite practical. So we were returning home with kai whānau and our kuia, and I had to ask the question, why are our people not growing their own food? Why are they not gathering food from the moana? What is the state of our land at this time? What is the state of our moana at this time? Are we being good stewards, good kaitiaki? And what are some pathways that we can initiate or that we can come and support to help regenerate the land and our people? In a Christian context, it's literally walking the talk. So we say tuhia ki te rangi, tuhia ki te whenua, and there's a prophetic word that is over us, but there's also an outworking of that. And what does that look like for you? As a son, as a daughter of the Lord Most High, what does that look like for me? What is in my hands to walk out in this whenua? And it's literally walking it. It's your hands in the mud, it's wheelbarrows, it's spades, it's raising your tamariki, it's out there sharing whatever God has given you, because it's a taonga, it's not just for you. It was just a prophetic picture God gave me about a tree, and when we cut off the first fruits, we're preparing the tree to be able to handle a bumper crop. So in the first 2 to 3 years, you're pruning back the fruit, and it seems like a waste, and you're a little bit gutted, and you're like, okay, I'll wait. But I just feel that Aotearoa is coming into a bumper season. I feel the Holy Spirit saying that, and in a bumper season, we have excess. We have excess that overflows into our communities. We're pickling things, we're making pies, we're chopping up apples for Africa, and that's the season we're coming into. It's the overflow. It speaks in Psalm 23 about my cup overflows. It's not just for you, it's to overflow into your community. What does your community look like? It's different to mine. What does your whānau look like? It's different to mine. But we're coming into a bumper crop season where restoration is just on fire in Aotearoa. God spoke to me about the Israelites in the wilderness, and he talked to me about, in a practical sense, to be a camper. You got to pack up everything, you got to know how to make stuff, you got to do things from scratch, and that's mātauranga, what we call mātauranga, which is knowledge. And he said, my people will be known by their fruits. And how do we grow a tree? How do we make bread? How do we pickle? And that mātauranga hasn't been sought out for a long time. And we need to come into unity with the knowledge holders in our communities. Who is your knowledge holder? We needed to come into unity with entities that have been carrying this mantle, kaitiaki of the whenua, Pākehā mā, Māori mā. We need to actually come alongside and say, actually, how do I learn this? How do I relearn? Yes, I have an innate ability as a Māori, but I still need to scratch the surface of this learning and this mātauranga so that I can teach my tamariki, and that I am leaving this earth knowing that I've left them in a good space of legacy and inheritance. Intimacy with the Father. It comes from your intimacy with Him. It comes from the practical outworking of your whānau. Your number one role is to be a mother, to be a wife, to be a husband, to be a son, to be a daughter. That's the practical training ground that we have to activate our giftings. And so my advice for people who know they have a purpose and they have something inside them they wish to birth is just to take it one step at a time. Look at what's in your hands and use that. Don't let it go to waste. Don't let your fruit rot on the tree or on the ground. Just one step at a time. You might not be, New Zealand's top gardener straight away, or you might not be, the next politician, but in your community, what does that look like? In your whānau, what does that look like? Are you bringing your hope? to your extended whānau? Are you bringing that? So yeah, that's my advice.